Does it just seem to just come and go, or is there
any logic behind it?
Yeah.
Well, we're running the ball better too. You know, we're still taking some sacks or getting sacks. We opened the gates on Stephen 2 or 3 times the other night that we didn't block very well. So our protection needs to get better. But we're running the ball better, so we're not sitting there with 2nd and 12s quite as often as maybe we were at this time in the past. But anyway, yeah, we've talked about it, tried to emphasize it, and Stephen is a lot smarter with the ball than he was last year, as we all know.
Steve, is there anything to your perfect record against Kentucky that your team can use as motivation, or Kentucky?
No, we don't talk about that at all. Every game stands on its own that year. I firmly have always believed that. One of the Kentucky guys asked me about that, and I said, obviously, in Florida, normally we had a better team almost every time we played them. And here, I don't know that we've been, it's pretty even. You know, we're pretty even with Kentucky. And we've seemed to get the good turnovers and get the good breaks in the close games. I tell our guys last year, we were talking about last year, we blocked the field goal and scored. And Captain Mullen ran a kickoff back down about to 15, and we hit Kenny McKinley. Chris Melly did for a touchdown. And then other than that, it was 24-17, correct? Yeah, we only scored one other touchdown. And of course, Ryan missed a few field goals that day. But it was a close game, and we got some big plays on special teams. 2 big plays. We haven't done too much special team yet. Maybe this is the week, who knows? Did block a field goal last week, which was very important. Eric Norwood broke through, got a hand on it, and preserved a 10-point lead at the time.
Coach, you mentioned communication issues with Stephen Garcia. It looked like he might have had a couple checks to move around for those touchdowns. Is that improving? Did that improve last week?
Yeah, it did. Our right guard jumped offside twice, though, when we were trying to audible. I don't know if you noticed that. So that was something we got to work on. You know, he wasn't expecting the quarterback to change play, so we got to teach him that we do change the play occasionally. So our communication was a little bit better. Although the first play of the game, we told the guys to play in the huddle right there, and they ran out and ran it, and 2 guys didn't hear it right, or 2 guys went the wrong way, and we were trying to run off left tackle, and defensive end was just standing there waiting on Kenny. So we got 1 yard out of it. So our communication wasn't very good then. So we're still working on it.
Steve, do you see the Kentucky program and your program as being pretty similar in where you're going, where you?
Yeah, probably close. Yeah, pretty close. They're probably a little bit like us in that their #1 goal is to have a winning season and go to a bowl, win a bowl game, and then certainly they hope someday to have a team that can win the SEC just like we do. 2 years ago, of course, you know, they beat LSU, the national champ, in overtime at their place. So they've had some good teams. They just haven't quite challenged for the SEC, and we really haven't needed that much. But we're working on it, and hopefully we're getting a lot more competitive maybe than in the past. So we'll find out as we go through really the next 6 games, all conference games as we go. It's a big one for us right here Saturday afternoon.
You talked about the offensive line. What about Garrett Chisholm? Are you going to look to get him into the game this weekend?
Yeah, I hope to get him in a little earlier. I didn't realize he had not played when Reed went in. I was hoping the coach had put a bunch of them in, but he had not. So, but again, we'll see how the game goes. But again, I think he's pretty close to some of our guys that are actually playing, so he needs an opportunity to play also. So he's he's getting close to ready. And in fact, I think Coach moved him to guard, so he may be in there left guard or right tackle now. Double training him.
Steve, did you think Torrey Gurley got the message about last week? Will he be back in the starting lineup this week, or do you not know yet?
I don't know who's going to start at that position. We got Torrey, Jason Barnes, Alshon Jeffrey. Mo Brown certainly is one of our starters. And after Mo, it's, you know, all the guys have done some good things here and there. But Jason just didn't get many opportunities, but he blocked pretty well downfield. And, you know, he had a big game against Kentucky last year, Jason Barnes. So I think he'll probably start there. And we'll sort of rotate them all in. Hard to play them all in a close game, but they'll probably all play. It's, I think, supposed to be a pretty hot day Saturday in the Glen. We've seen the weather report, 80s, 82, 83, something like that. So if it's a good hot day, hopefully our conditioning, a lot of players will see action.
The fact that it is your first day game of the year, I mean, do you coach differently in the day versus night, or the football?
We encourage our players to start getting to bed a little earlier. You know, we think a lot of them stay up past midnight just goofing off, like most college kids do. And we're going to try to get them to bed a little earlier, because pretty much wake up and go to the pregame meal at 8:30, and then come on over and start getting ready to play. But we actually probably our two best game stretch last year was Ole Miss and Kentucky, 2 12-30 games, I think, both of them. So, you know, I've always said, doesn't matter what time we play, because they don't ask you what time you want to play anyway, they tell you. So, you get ready for all times, really. So we'll look forward to the early start. Yeah.
Steve, your take on the excessive celebration penalties that have been called this year? I guess the SEC came out and said they blew one at Georgia.
Yeah.
You think that?
I've always thought it was they shouldn't have put it in, because you give the referee too much discretion. That's just my opinion. And he said, well, that was too much. I mean, one of the big penalties that's happened to me, we were in the Sugar Bowl playing University of Miami back in 2000, and our guy caught the ball for a first down, and he went, first down, you know how the pros guys always say first down? They flagged him right there for that, so we go 15 back and end up not scoring that drive, I think. That's, you know, you give them the opportunity. So if they want to call something, they say, yeah, it was too much. So it's they put that in, and I don't know, I think it has to be really excessive. I think you have to go do a dance or shaking around. You have to do something really excessive, but the refs have the option. I don't like any penalties that referees have an option. Well, in my opinion, that was, but yeah, it was unfortunate for Georgia, fortunate for LSU that may have been what cost it. But then again, maybe they kick off, LSU goes scores, and anyway, who knows what would have happened. But yeah, I don't like that penalty. I don't know what Kenny did. He said, I think he did a little flex up just quickly. He probably did that every time he scored in high school, and wasn't any big deal. So he did it the other night, sure enough. We kick off, they run it all the way back to about 35-40 of ours, and fortunately they didn't score. Where that game last week, it was 17-14 right there. So anyway, it's you just got to tell you guys, don't do anything, flip it to the ref and come over behind the bench. You can do your little acting and celebrating. You do all you want on the bench area. You just can't do it in the end zone out on the field.